for helping young people overcome trauma and find economic opportunities in Somalia, and in doing so, offer a model for the 2 billion people living in conflict zones around the world. Mohamed Diini and Itfin Global. Now let's enjoy their film.
I was 9 years old when we left Somalia. Riots were breaking out, hundreds of people were killed. When we landed in the United States, I distinctly remember watching the news and watching our entire city burn down. Somalia really is at a critical juncture. We have undergone 30 years of war and conflict. You have this entire generation of young people. They've experienced famine and drought, displacement, violent acts on a regular basis. I think that a lot of young people in my society feel unheard, marginalized, misunderstood. How do we start to rebuild, and how do we help people feel less lost? Our country is a very young population. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. When I founded Itfin, the idea was to create job opportunities through entrepreneurship for young people. And the hope was that by giving employment, you would break this cycle of poverty and violence that young people were embedded in. But then we started seeing some challenges. In Somali culture, especially young men, we don't talk about our emotions. People don't talk about mental health. The scale of the problem was really shocking to us. Over 70% had moderate to severe anxiety disorders, nightmares, paralysis, panic attacks, anger. You can't provide job creation support in a vacuum. We realized that mental health wasn't complementary. Mental health was foundational. That's been the core part of our program, merging this idea of trauma-informed care and mental health with job opportunities.
بدلي وحمين وما أنت أنني أنفعه ونفسد أهان وما أنت الآن مقول قف وح خب سكره وبيحي هو إلهي لما نقول كيني وسيدي.
Once we started incorporating mental health in our program, something amazing started happening. The people that we're training are going out and in turn having conversations and training their family members, their peer groups, their community members. Before we integrated mental health, over 40% of young people were dropping out of our classrooms. Once we integrated mental health, 90% were finishing the entire program and graduating. My vision is a Somalia where every young person has the opportunity to build a future for themselves. A Somalia where trauma is not a barrier, where a lack of opportunities is not a barrier, where they're connected to their community. I envision a Somalia where peace is rooted in healing and understanding, and to take what has worked in Somalia to the 2 billion other people that are living in conflict zones around the world.
There was a young man in one of our entrepreneurship courses in Mogadishu a few years ago. His name was Liban. He would often not show up to class, and when he did show up, he was completely disengaged. Our trainers were thinking about actually dropping him out of the course entirely. I could have let him go, but I asked the most important question I can think of. Why? Why aren't you showing up? And he told me his uncle, who raised him from childhood, had been killed in a suicide attack at a security checkpoint a few months back. His family lived in a refugee camp outside of the city, and every day he would drive 2 hours to come to our training center, going through checkpoints that reminded him of his uncle's death. So at that point, I asked myself the question, how can I ask this young man to focus on financial forecasting when he's trying to process deep-rooted trauma? How can I demand his attention when every day he's focused on moving toward the next day? So at Itfin Global, we changed everything. We made mental health come first as a path toward economic development. So today, if someone wants to join our jobs program, they're required to take a group counseling course. So they learn about emotional self-regulation, how to deal with anxiety, anger management, and the results really have been absolutely transformational. Previously we had over 40% dropping out, and now we have a 90% retention rate. I often talk about Somalia, but there are 2 billion people that live in communities scarred by conflict, whether by war in Somalia or gun violence in America or climate shocks. Trauma is everywhere. And that's why I'm here today, to talk to you as global leaders, because you all work in communities where trauma is an invisible barrier preventing the people that you want to help and reach out to from taking advantage of your support. Trauma is a tax. It's a tax on economic opportunity. It's a tax on human potential. It's a tax on generations of people from moving forward and raising themselves out of poverty. And we've realized over the course of the work in Somalia that trauma impacts every facet of society, whether you're trying to empower women or working with school children or trying to build a peace-building program. And in Somalia, we've built this life-changing toolkit. And I believe that the work that we've done in Somalia can be replicated in the communities that you all work in. I envision a world where healing goes hand in hand with opportunity. And I invite you to join me and make that vision a reality. And before I go, I have one request from all of you. If there's someone that you're trying to help and they're not showing up, I want you to ask the same question I asked Liban. Why? Thank you so much.